Hi guys, welcome to my channel and let's get straight to the big question. Can CSK beat RCB? Before we go further, I want to invite you guys to like and subscribe to this channel. I will be your buddy who will make sure I get the best expert analysis for CSK fans in English. Can CSK lose to RCB in their next match on Sunday? Short answer, yes. Unfortunately, CSK is very inexperienced at this point in time, especially in our bowling attack. If we're being honest, there are too many youngsters with a lot of potential, and youngsters with potential normally come good in the second or third season of the IPL. Usually it's in the third season. In the second season, they start being a little consistent, like we saw the other day with Samir Rizvisnak. However, Ayush Matre played an amazing innings, and Anshul Kamboj bowled beautifully today. Khalil was very good too, and Matt Henry came good after his initial onslaught. He was a little unlucky even in the first match, when Suryavanshi's catch was dropped by Karthik Sharman, and he got whacked there too, like today. Our main problem is that we don't have good death bowling, and more importantly, we don't have confident openers. At this point in time, Samson and Ruturaj Gaikwad are not looking really confident, especially Ruturaj. And with the shot he played to get out, that too with Ayush Matre on the other end playing beautifully. If CSK has any chance of coming good this season, both Sanju and Rutu need to start playing responsible and powerful innings, meaning both of them need to start getting runs, and big runs, for example, on average. If the average score is 220 on a certain pitch, our batting has to get around 240 plus because of our weaker bowling attack. And these two should be the ones making the main charge. Unfortunately, our coaches, such as Fleming and we don't know if they are being stubborn or actually doing homework. They need to make sure that even guys who like to play the traditional style realize that the game has evolved and they have to be more attacking. Everyone has to get a feel for just a few balls before smacking. But we'll talk about that later in another video. Now let's get back to the RCB CSK match on Sunday. As a CSK fan, I'm sorry to say that this team doesn't really have what it takes to win against RCB on Sunday. Because of the simple word body language. When you're leading a young team like Ruturaj, is the elder players, the elder statesmen, should inspire and lead by example. Sanju and Ruturaj, ideally, one of them should get at least a big score against RCB. If not both, it would be a bonus if Brevis can come into the team. That in itself will help the team get a boost in confidence. Ayush was amazing today. If anything, it would be much better if Ayush actually opens the batting like he did last year. He was very successful last year opening for us. So Ayush and Sanju should be a good thing opening, or even Ayush and Rutu with Sanju batting one down. If RCB is batting first and sets a target of, say, 240, with this kind of bowling attack, it looks highly likely. It would be most likely 240 plus. I'll be shocked if we actually bowl that well. But I was impressed with how CSK tried with whatever little resources they have in the bowling, especially Matt Henry, who I was upset with initially. He did try something different. Unfortunately, that is the maximum as these guys have. And I don't understand why we never tried using Prashant Veer. I understand Shreyas Iyer is a good batsman against spin, as well as some other Punjab batsmen. But you must try Prashant Veer's bowling out, at least in the first few matches, and see what happens. If you're not going to try him now, are you going to use him in the end of the tournament? What's the point of having, especially if he's going to be the so-called Ravindra Jadeja replacement? Then why did you pay 14 crore plus for him? If we bat first, if the average score is 240 in that pitch, we must aim for 260 to 270. And because of the weak bowling attack we have, that is non-negotiable. And our coaching management should tell the team that, especially our openers, Rutu and Sanju. With this bowling attack, the batting team has to fire. Last year, we overloaded our bowling, and this year, it looks like we have overloaded our batting. Unfortunately, the negative is that we also have too many youngsters who have never really played the IPL. With all this taken into consideration, I'd have to say that our chances are looking very bleak. Against RCB on Sunday, you never know though, there's a very good chance that our boys in yellow can suddenly surprise everyone, including me. There is news that Brevis could possibly play on Sunday. If he does, that will change a lot. Another thing I didn't want to talk about earlier, experts from other channels, with Ash, P-Dog, and Srikanth, cleverly and correctly stated the use of Akil Hussain. He could probably be the person we would need to replace Jadoo. Because the way Matt Henry bowled in the power plays, as we saw, was bad. I still thought he was good in the end, but in the power plays, he was bad. If you're going to take Prashant Veer and he's not going to bowl, unfortunately, well, he probably would have to be dropped. And so would Kartik Sharma, if Brevis is there. If you're going to go by a logical standpoint, it's very hard to see a silver lining, especially after the last two matches. Obviously, this match they played much better, especially Kamboj, which is really looking very impressive. We still don't have a good death bowler. I don't know if Spencer Johnson will ever get a chance to play for us. And Ayush was the star today. We still have a lot of things to work on. On the other hand, RCB looks really good at this point in time. Their batting is on fire. They resemble the Mumbai Indians team of 2019 to 2020, and they have players waiting, like Venkatesh Iyer. Although their bowling is still a little suspect compared to other teams, but not as bad as ours. There is only one option. Samson has to get a big score if he can get past Puvi's swing, which he sometimes struggles with. Even if you're chasing Samson, holding a big key is a big key, because Ruturaj doesn't look like he is inspiring confidence from both innings, even when you got time to play. Our fielding has definitely improved a little bit from the last match. It still needs a lot of work. And there are no excuses. These are all young fellows, so they should be able to field much better than the older guys. I feel like what we have done from last season with Dad's Army has overcompensated into a baby army, and there is no middle ground. That is why in the auctions themselves, we should have got someone as mature as Jason Holder or David Miller to come and guide the team for finishes. It seems like this is why we need to make a separate video on why the management did a horrendous job in the auctions. Not just the main auctions. We can still give them some leeway because we hoped that Ashwin and so many others would come good. It was the auctions last December that were honestly pathetic, because you went for two youngsters for 14 plus crores each without anyone to guide you, without any experienced players. You're honestly asking for a lot of trouble. That blend of youth and experience that CSK was known for looks like it is missing. Anyways, if they make some changes, it's not too late. Akil Hussain for Prashant Veer. If Brevis comes, this team will suddenly look very different and very promising. There's a good chance that we might even beat RCB, although it's very slim. At the moment, if we get 2 points on Sunday, the whole season can turn around. But as a CSK fan, this is where we try to show true loyalty to CSK. It's not when they're winning, it's when they're losing. Hopefully, the management will learn from the mistakes they made. And I'm hoping for more consistency and strategy from the team in the next few matches. It doesn't matter if they lose, but the way they lose matters for me and for a lot of CSK fans. Let's give the team some encouragement. Support our boys by going to their profiles and saying some warm words. It's only when you are losing that you show true loyalty to anyone or anything in life. Anyway, guys, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I will be posting more videos. Take care.